What's going on, guys? Bill here with another vape review, and I'm going to be talking about the Arctic Tank by Horizon Tech. This is a Sub Ohm tank. I've seen a couple of different setups for it. The one that I purchased came with two 0.5 ohm single coils. I don't know why they call them turbine coils. They're just vertical coils. I actually still have one of them in there, which I'll show you. I've purchased separately the 0.2 ohm dual coils, or bottom turbine dual coils, as they call them. Enough of that, though. This is a killer sub-tank. Tons of airflow, great flavor. I mean, check out the vapor production. You ready for this? It'll chuck some clouds. So this is the packaging that it came in. Got this little sleeve around it, and I guess it'll have the box checked for what type of coil it comes with. Don't know if the camera's going to focus on that or not, but it's got 0.2, 0.5, 1.2 looks like. Yeah, and then for the dual, it's got 0.2 and 0.5. And it tells you the wattage that you can run it at. I do feel like they overpromised and underdelivered a little bit on the recommended wattage for vaping. For example, the 0.2, which 0.2 dual, which I'm running in it now, says you can run it between 30 to 100 watts. Yes, it can hit at 100 watts, but you can't regularly vape it. Now, if you're going to hit it and then put it down for a few minutes and then hit it again, I guess you could. Me, I'm a chain vapor, so maybe that's my fault. But right now I'm running at 65 watts. Let's go ahead and crank it up to 100 just to see. This, by the way, is a new coil I put in here 30 minutes ago. So, let's see. Crank it up. And I'm vaping it on the IPv4, which goes up to 100 watts. It also has temperature control, so I'm going to try to get a review for this. So, let's see, don't know if it will focus. 100 watts. It's hard to see. It's 0.21 ohms, 4.58 volts. Here we go. See, already at the end of that, it's I get a little dry hit, so wasn't too fond of that, but you don't need to be throwing that much power at these anyway. I do, just because I like it. But here's 80 watts. These are 1 second pulls. So, tons of vapor production. The one thing I found with these coils, the break-in time on them is a little long. You'll get some funky flavor. I hear a lot of people said the flavor sucks. I find that after about a quarter of a tank of juice going through it, it's fine. Or if you fill it and you let it sit, it's fine. This is actually the fastest I've, or excuse me, the soonest that I've gotten rid of the break-in flavor. It's kind of I don't even know how to describe the flavor, but it has a little funky aftertaste while you're vaping it. But I filled it and I let it sit. And I primed the coil. You have to prime all these Sub Ohm tank coils, or you have to fill the tank and let them sit for a while. But fantastic. So real quick, let's take a look at the packaging. Like I said, it comes with a little sleeve around it. Nice plastic case. On the back of it, tells you how to fill it. It's bottom fill. Oh, I guess I turn it the right way. You fill it from the bottom, it unscrews at the base, which I'll show you all that. It tells you the different components of it, how to put it together. Talks a little bit down here at the bottom. It's 100% US made Canthal. It's 304 stainless steel Pyrex glass tank. It's got 4 3 square millimeter air holes, so you get a total of 12 square millimeter air holes. It uses 100% organic cotton, and it has some talks about the batteries you should use for this, which we all know, be safe when sub-ohming. So here is, if I can get it out, jeez. This is the 0.5 ohm coil, and I like that they have them individually wrapped and stuff. Makes it keep cleaner, no dust, stuff like that. Boy, this one doesn't even want to come out of the packaging. Goodness gracious, there we go. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this is the 0.5 ohm bottom turbine coil. This is the single coil. 0.5 ohms, 20 to 40 watts. See down it. Wide, big 4 wide air hole slots at the bottom, and then just like all the other ones, this pin just comes out, and that's how the coil's in there where the leads are, your negative and positive. Massive slots, massive, 2 massive slots on each side for the juice. Easy to prime. Obviously it comes with the tank, and the tank does come with a coil already in it. I think I've gotten most of my juice out. Almost. We'll take a couple more vapes. But this Arctic Sub Ohm tank is made by the company Horizon Tech. I had never heard of them until I saw this tank. A buddy of mine, Anthony, at work, was vaping on it. I hit it. I loved it. And one thing, it does have an authentication on the side. There's a little scratch off. You can go to their site, type in those numbers, make sure it's authentic. The Sub Ohm tanks are about the only thing authentic that I buy. Everything else I buy is a clone, but that's okay. I do love the design of the coils, though. They're really, really well made. The tank itself, I've seen 2 different styles. The one I got from my wife has just a standard drip tip. It's plain. They are pretty wide bore too, which I do love. This one that I bought actually has airflow on it. So you just turn it. It's got 2 little slots for airflow, which really gives it some airflow, but at the same time, it mutes the flavor a little. But we'll try it with the airflow open on the drip tip as well. Here we go. I mean, with that open, that's as airy as a lot of the RDAs I own. And the flavor's still good, but I definitely prefer it with the drip tip with the airflow closed off. But we are going to take it apart now and take a look at it. Alright, so let's clean it off here. Got juice on it. Alright. So in it, right now I have the 0.2 ohm coil. Just like the other one, has the 4 massive air holes in the bottom, 2 giant slots, the cotton. It's just a dual coil instead of single coil. Clean all that juice off. Here's your base. Got your 510 connection. Looks to be stainless steel as well, like the rest of the device. Now the 510 connection does not protrude at all. Do not use this with any hybrid. You run risk of the positive making connection with the internal, with the 510 pin, and the outside will short out. Bad things happen. But you have 4 massive slots. Like I said, these are all 3mm. You have 4 of them. These don't click into place like on some other Sub Ohm tanks, like actually not on Sub Ohm tanks. I don't know if Sub Ohm tanks have it. The ones I have haven't. But I know like on the Nautilus Mini stuff, they clicked into place. This one doesn't. It just spins. But it has a good resistance. I imagine it's either single or dual O-ring underneath. I have not had it. It does not free spin on me. You have some little grooves cut in it for grip for when you're tightening the tank. That's what the inside looks like. Threads on this thing, smooth. Really, really smooth. As far as the tank, there's a little bit of juice in there. I got a napkin, it's okay. Let's take the drip tip off. See if I can get it to unscrew without any issues. There we go. So it just unscrews like this. And one thing I will say, I don't like that it doesn't come with replacement glass. Top comes off. There's threads there on the top. There's an O-ring on the inside. The glass just presses against it. There we go. Base comes off. And then you have your Pyrex glass tank. Go ahead and clean that up a little. I'm surprised at how many things don't absorb e-juice. I mean, you would think super absorbent paper towels and stuff, you just wipe it over, it sucks it right up. No, I need to like invent an e-juice absorbent rag. It just soaks it right up. Anyway, so there's your Pyrex glass tank. Actually, I'm sorry, the O-rings are on the tank. I don't know if they're supposed to stick on there, if they're supposed to stay on the inside of the top and bottom. But there's your bottom piece with your shaft section. And there's the threads on the inside for the top. There's from the bottom. Now these two slots here and here, that's how you fill it once it's all back together. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Pop that in there. Screw this on. And you always want to be careful when tightening. You don't want to over tighten it and crack the glass. And it also makes it really hard to take apart. This one I haven't taken apart yet, so. Alright, very wide shaft section though. It definitely helps with the airflow. So we're going to go ahead and fill it. Today I will be using Takodon. It's the Kaiju line from the Puffing Monkey. Got this from their location in Wake Forest, North Carolina. Let's go ahead and fill it. So you just stick the tip in the little slot and fill it up. Obviously, if you get it down in the shaft section, it's just going to drain right out the bottom on you. So don't do that. Now I will say one thing, it doesn't quite fill up all the way. There's a very, very, very little bit of negative space once it's filled, which is okay, I guess. I don't have a problem with it. Your coil just screws right into the base. Same thing, you want it snug, nice and snug, not over tight. And you just screw the base on like that. Threads on this thing are so smooth though, so smooth. You'll see the little air bubbles coming up. See what I mean? A little bit of negative space up at the top. That's okay. I want to say I believe this holds 2.5 mils of e-juice. So not as much as some of the other Sub Ohm tanks out there, but still 2.5 mils is really convenient versus constantly dripping an RDA. I used to use nothing but RDAs, but I found myself using this a lot simply for the convenience, especially when I'm at work. So now it's fresh filled. Got it set to 80 watts. I'm reading at 0.21. Actually, if you hold the wattage up and down this, 0.210 goes down to the thousandths. All right, and here we go. The flavor on this thing is killer, and the airflow on this is better than some of the RDAs that I own. I love it. It has been performing amazingly. I got one, brought it home. My wife tried it, had to get her one. She loves hers. The only difference between hers and mine is the fact that her drip tip does not have the adjustable airflow. I don't even use my adjustable airflow. So, but flavor. Like I said, people say, oh, it has a funky taste. Once I'm past the break-in, I have not had an issue with the flavor at all. It is fantastic. Insane. Comparing it to an RDA I own off the top of my head, my 18650 Toe Batty. This has better airflow and better flavor than the toe batty. Now my toe batty on my Hades, my copper toe batty 26650, obviously I have it drilled out so it has more info, but this is a definite competitor with RDAs. And if you're not into building coils and doing your own wicking and knowing ohms and resistances, stuff like that, this is the way to go. The Arctic Sub Ohm Tank by Horizon Tech. Fantastic. Let's have another vape. This thing is killer. So I highly recommend it. I got this from the Puffing Monkey in Wake Forest. I want to say it was $44.99, which is a killer deal. Comes with 2 coils. Pack of 5 coils. A little expensive. I purchased this for $25 from them. I'm sure you can find them online a little cheaper. I love the 0.2 ohms, but everything's subjective for everybody. But I appreciate you guys checking this video out. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, share. Stay tuned. I'm going to try to get a review up for the IPv4. And actually, I have a nickel coil, NI200 coil for the Arctic. So I will be able to show you the wattage, the power mode, and the joule mode for the temperature control. So thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you next time.